Well, there's some cameos that happened last night during the Super Bowl halftime show. Maybe not the cameos that you expected to see, though. In fact, we started off, Samuel L. Jackson was the first cameo, not to perform, but to do the introduction for Kendrick Lamar last night.
Salutations! It's your Uncle Sam, and this is the Great American Game.
That's kind of how it all got going. So he started off, and then Kendrick Lamar took over after that and did his thing. And you thought, okay, are you going to see Taylor Swift? Are you going to see anything else? No. It was just as you expected. It was Kendrick Lamar, and it was SZA. This is what it sounded like.
Woke up looking for the broccoli. Hot key. Keep a horn on me that could mock see. IP. Ownership, the blueprint is by me.
Mr. Lamar, do you really know how to play the game? Then tighten up.
Nobody pray for me. It's been a day for me. Well, yeah.
You know what? Let's slow it down. Say, ladies, do me this solid.
Oh, you done lost your damn mind.
This world reminds me.
Swirl, concrete, flowers grow. Heartbreaks, you only do when she low. Weekends, get poppin' on the low. We know all the songs are too short. All the songs are too short. All the songs are too
They got me bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my
Okay, well, there you go. So what did you think of the Super Bowl halftime show last night, Virginia?
I mean, I liked it, but I don't know if it really is going to hit home, mainstream, cut through, because a lot of people don't know his music.
Yeah, I had the roughest text conversation with my dad last night trying to explain Kendrick Lamar. And
Nobody's dad knows Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, it was
and a
just-
lot of people's dads were watching the Super Bowl.
yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, maybe just sit this one out, Dad. I don't know if I can give you a debriefing on this and kind of catch up on the whole feud with Drake that fast. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. But, I mean, all that aside, was it the right choice to begin with? How was the overall performance with everything? The other cameo that you saw, other than Samuel L. Jackson, we did have Serena Williams. She was out there dancing. And why that was kind of significant is she was dancing, to Not Like Us? And she's Drake's ex, and that's the Drake diss track.
Yes, there was speculation that he wasn't going to do that song, and then he did that song, and everybody in the whole crowd was going, A minor,
Yeah.
which is a diss against Drake.
Yeah, see, that's the only thing that I wonder is if you are in the know and you know Kendrick Lamar, I assume you probably loved it. I assume it's everything that you wanted. I thought it sounded good. It was clean. It was, everything like that. Technically was good, right?
Technically, yeah, it looked good, but it's just not a lot of people know it as mainstream as maybe some of the artists from years past.
Yes.
My poor panda, I looked over at him and he's like, I don't know what's going on.
Right. I think there's a lot of people that felt that way, and I think it's going to be interesting to see where they go with the Super Bowl halftime show. What, Jay-Z has control of the production of that? That's his baby?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know if that's going to change or if they're going to get in his ear and say, hey, can we, I know to you may be like, okay, everybody in my universe is huge Kendrick Lamar fans and know all about it. But the reviews from our audience, 47% said they hated it. So almost half hated the Super Bowl halftime show. 38% thought it was pretty good, and only 14% said it was amazing. Now, obviously, we're not on a hip-hop station. If we're on a hip-hop station, those numbers may be radically different.
Absolutely. I think it would flip.
Yes.
Completely. But it just really depends on how familiar you are with hip-hop and specifically Kendrick Lamar and SZA. If you're not, then it probably fell a little flat for you.
Yes. One comment we got today says, no matter what anybody says, the halftime show was trash. This whole pushing Kendrick Lamar as some amazing performer has got to stop. He had a good year because of another man, Drake. He is mediocre. Okay. Well, I don't know if you're a hip-hop fan on top of it or if that's your feeling as a non-hip-hop fan. I do know that some of the country music formats today, they're like, hey, we'd like to get if we're going to do hip hop, can we do country? I mean, the last time you did country was 1994. We're talking a 31-year drought since we had any, country artists out there.
I saw they were floating the old Travis Tritt from back in the day. I smell TROUBLE.
Yeah, that was the last time they did a country music halftime show. Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, and the Judds were the performers for that one.
I'm a lover of 90s country. I don't hate it.
That to me is and this is what we do in America. We don't react, we overreact. And so, it just feels like, I don't know, that swinging the pendulum all the way to these genres that, I think you got to keep it mainstream. I don't know whatever happened to the concept of having multiple performers on one stage and one halftime show.
They did that with hip hop a couple years ago, and it was fantastic.
But even across multiple genres, anymore, you have so many guest appearances that happen across that. You've got hip hop artists on country songs. You've got, country songs that sound hip hop, so there's a mix of a lot of stuff. And then the mainstream pop and even all that stuff you could work in, right?
I think we need more collaborations. Just putting it all on Kendrick Lamar and then just a little bit on SZA. I don't think it kept it as fast paced and exciting and, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Our attention spans need more.
Well, and to me, the problem, with what they did for the Super Bowl halftime show is, if you were not a hip hop fan, this isn't your year. If you had multiple artists and it wasn't your genre, hold on a minute. Just wait a song instead of you got to wait a year. And next year, I don't know. I mean, if Jay-Z's still a part of it, I can't imagine he's going to book anybody but a hip hop act. So, I mean, as long as he's running, I assume it's every halftime show is going to be hip hop.
Yeah, I don't know.
From here on out. So, the numbers will be interesting to speak on. I don't have that yet as to what the viewership was, as to what the overall vibe is, or if people were saying, okay, when you had the old school hip hop guys, it's old enough that it was mainstream.
Sure.
Everybody across the board knows that. The Kendrick stuff may be too young. And the thing that's crazy, the people were there. I mean, performers you had in New Orleans, Post Malone, Travis Scott, Ice Spice, Snoop Dogg, Ludacris, they all performed at events. Taylor Swift's in the crowd. You have Paul McCartney up in a
I saw that.
in a box. You had a lot of people you could have tagged in and been like, hey, can we work this out? Nelly performed at Brennan's on Friday night. So, it was there. They could have done that. So I don't know if Jay-Z will relent, but to me, if I had to make a suggestion moving on, maybe we should open it up a little bit. Have it multiple genre so that nobody walks away feeling like, wow, that did not speak to me at all. I have no idea who that was, and I didn't like one song.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah, just a thought.
This is how we do. It's the KBJ Show.